moved swiftly to reach
See?
Michael and Henderson.
See? Oxygen depletion. I told you, bro. Y'all niggas need to get the fuck out that shit. Taking up all the goddamn oxygen, you fat neck ass bitches. Damn, let me chill. Be talking crazy sometimes.
Understanding the risks of hypothermia and oxygen depletion, moved swiftly to reach Michael and Henderson.
No, fuck no! The most insane cave rescues ever. Simple paint. Me personally, I'd be damned if I died to a fucking cave. That's just me though. Boy Scout Cave Rescue. They're Boy Scouts? Red Nose Cave Rescue. Red Nose. Gun Barrel Passage Rescue. Oh shit.
Boy Scout Cave Rescue. On December 27, 2003, a group of 8 boys and 2 counselors set out for Boy Scout Cave in Florida. Among them were a group of 8 boys and 2 counselors set out for
That bitch look calm. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll go in that motherfucker. I'm not going deep though. I'm not getting stuck.
Boy Scout Cave in Florida. Among them were 15-year-old Michael Shiro and 16-year-old Javik Henderson, both eager for adventure. The cave was known for its narrow crawlways and sharp turns, but it was considered safe due to its stable structure. Their counselors were unable to navigate the tight passages due to their size, which is why they decided to stay outside, leaving the boys to explore.
Y'all are literally the fucking councils, nigga. Y'all are the leaders of the group, nigga. If y'all can't go down there, don't allow the boys to go down there, nigga. These niggas are stupid. These niggas are already retarded. Holy fuck, these niggas are stupid. No wonder these niggas died. Oh. They didn't die. They got rescued. But the niggas are still fucking Ed.
The cave's air was cool, and the light from 9 flashlights flickered through the dark passages. The group crawled deeper into the cave, undeterred by the oppressive silence that surrounded them. After about an hour, they reached a particularly difficult section known as the hairpin curve. The narrow passage twisted at a sharp angle, barely wide enough for one person to crawl through. Michael, determined to lead, pressed forward, followed by Henderson. But as Henderson...
Oh, hell no. Are you crawling through a cave? I'm definitely exploring a cave, as long as I don't gotta do no bullshit like this. Cause fuck no. If I gotta crawl, get sideways, wiggle my body and shoulders and shit just to get past one little passageway, nigga, you not catching me in that cave, bro. But you know, a type of cave where I could like walk around and shit, it's like big as shit inside, yeah, that's cool as fuck, bro. Or like a type of cave where maybe I gotta like crawl. That's cool. But not to where I gotta get on my fucking belly and elbows and shuffle through that motherfucker. These niggas are stupid, boy. I could never be this fucking Ed. That's just
tried to maneuver around the sharp bend, he became stuck, unable to move forward or back. Panic set in as his breathing quickened.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
I was telling you I was home.
What?
I was trying to see. No, I was trying to see if you could, on your way back, stop at. Look, can you stop at Little Caesar?
No, I'm trying to get back to Pam.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go get some ice, and I'm in her house.
Okay. So, on your way back, can you give me a stuffed pretzel crust from Little Caesars?
Oh, you're gonna go out do probably do that yourself. And I don't know.
When will you be back?
I don't know. I'm waiting on. I'm finna go back because she finna finish cooking food. I don't know. And you got to go up there yourself.
All right.
Shit, realizing he was trapped, Michael crawled back to help, but as he wedged himself into the narrow space, the walls of the cave scraped against their skin, making it harder to move. The group, waiting in the wider section of the cave...
How do you compromise between technology and timelessness?
My fucking God!
We asked.
Grew anxious. For over an
My
hour, the
bad.
two struggled. Henderson's body twisted painfully in the tight passage, and sharp edges of the rock dug into his ribs and hips. Each attempt to move only seemed to make things worse. As time passed, the situation grew dire. Then, disaster
Yep.
struck.
That shit hurt, don't
Michael,
it?
exhausted and cold, collapsed. Henderson was left in the dark, unable to help his friend. His cries for help echoed in the cave, but the other boys, too afraid to approach, could only panic and watch helplessly. Outside, the counselors were still unaware of the crisis unfolding inside. It wasn't until the boys made their way back to the entrance, frantic and out of breath, that they finally explained what had happened. The counselors immediately extinguished the fire they had lit and called 911. Rescue teams arrived quickly, equipped with tools and experience. Inside the cave, the air was thick with fear. The boys, pale and trembling, huddled together, unable to comprehend the gravity of their
Chill, brother.
situation.
Some of y'all
The
need to get the
rescuers,
out of that hole,
understanding the
bro.
risks of
Taking up all the
hypothermia
goddamn
and
oxygen in
oxygen
that
depletion,
motherfucker.
moved swiftly to
Yep.
reach
See?
Michael and Henderson.
See? Oxygen depletion. I told you, bro. Y'all niggas need to get the fuck out that shit. Taking up all the goddamn oxygen, you fat neck ass bitches. Damn, let me chill. Be talking crazy sometimes.
Understanding the risks of hypothermia and oxygen depletion, moved swiftly to reach Michael and Henderson.
No, fuck no. Fuck no. Hell no. Because there's no reason there should be 10 people in this motherfucker, bro. Get the fuck out the cave. Taking up all the goddamn oxygen, nigga. Wait, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 people, nigga. Damn.
When the rescue team reached the hairpin curve, the sight was grim. Henderson was still conscious, but his movements were sluggish and his skin clammy. Michael, however, lay slumped just ahead, unresponsive and cold to the touch. The rescuers worked methodically, chiseling away at the limestone first to widen the narrow passage. Each strike echoed through the cave, adding to the tension. It took over an hour to free Henderson. As he was pulled from the hairpin curve, he let out a sob of relief, though his body remained stiff and trembling. The rescuers wrapped him in a thermal blanket and dragged him through the narrow passages towards the surface. With Henderson's save, attention turned to Michael, who was still in an unconscious state. After 2 hours of grueling work, they freed Michael. His pulse was weak, but it was there. They carefully secured him in a harness and began the painstaking process of carrying him to the surface. As they emerged into the daylight, emergency medical teams rushed to stabilize the boys. Michael, still unconscious, was quickly treated for hypothermia. It took him an entire day to regain consciousness, but miraculously, he survived. Red Knoll's Cave Rescue. It was December 21st,
Bitch, y'all niggas will never explore that
1997,
cave
a
again.
chilly evening in Arizona, when 5 young men, Brandon Silverhorn, Christopher Reed, Gus Hansen, John...
So, are these heights really, accurate, for real? Are they heights really dead-ass accurate? Is there a reason Gus is this tall? And, is it a reason, Brandon's teeth is, this fucking huge? Did Gus get stuck and Brandon use his teeth to chip away at the shit? And then Gus? Bro, no. That nigga's name can't be Gus, bro. They're making this shit up. Bro, Gus is a short nigga name. These two niggas here, Brandon and Gus, need to switch names, because Gus does not belong with a tall nigga. Yo, Gus. What the fuck do I look like looking up at a nigga and his name is Gus? Fuck no. Hell no.
Salazar and Jeremy Platt set out for the Safford Shafts, a desolate area also known as Red Knolls. This wasn't your typical hangout spot. The landscape was pockmarked with deep pits, some plunging 40 to 60 feet into the hardened bed of what was once an ancient lake. One of the pits was capped by a 4-foot-thick rock covering 60 feet of silt. It was a strange setting for a night of adventure, but that's exactly what they were seeking. They arrived around 9 p.m., armed with gasoline and reckless excitement. In the midst of steep drops and towering cliffs, their attention was drawn to a narrow crack in the rock, barely a foot wide. The plan, to turn this crack into a fire-spewing spectacle.
I just got my campus gearbox from campus.edu's online business degree program, and here's what they sent me for free. The package.
Without hesitation, they poured 4 gallons of gasoline down the crevice.
Damn!
Then, one of them lit a rag,
Nigga, you
tossed
could've
it
put
in,
that shit in
and
the
stepped back.
car.
For a moment, silence. Then, an explosion ripped through the earth. The ground literally blew apart. Fire and debris shot skyward, the fissure expanding into a gaping hole. The sheer force hurled 4 of the men backward,
Yeah, that shit sounds
bruised
kinda
and
cool.
scraped but alive. But Brandon Silverhorn was standing too close. He
Dumb
had been
dick.
peeking into the crack when the explosion struck. The ground beneath him
Fucking slipped in
crumbled
that
and he
motherfucker.
disappeared, falling straight down, 40 feet into the pit. The impact was brutal. His leg hit first, snapping with a sickening crack. He tumbled deeper into the crevice, dirt and rock cascading down after him. Before he could react, a massive slab of rock, 3 feet by 5 feet, slid from above, burying him beneath it. He was pinned, twisted at an unnatural angle, his head forced sideways against the rock. His broken leg throbbed with pain, and the pressure on his abdomen and kidneys turned every breath into agony. Dust filled his lungs, choking any attempt to call for help. Above, his friends screamed his name, but no response came. Panic surged through them. They couldn't see him through the swirling dust and darkness. There was no way they could pull him out on their own. Desperate, they bolted to their car and raced back to town to get help. Rescuers arrived within the hour. When they saw the scene, they knew this would be a long, dangerous night. The slab covering Brandon wasn't just heavy, it was wedged deep, almost part of the earth itself. The tilt of the crevice made things even worse. If they weren't careful, any movement could send more rock tumbling down. Meanwhile, Brandon was barely clinging to consciousness. His leg was mangled, his body crushed, his breath shallow from the relentless pressure on his chest. Hypothermia set in as the cold leached the warmth from his body. Hours passed. The first challenge was the slab. Rescuers used chisels, carefully loosening its edges. Each strike sent more debris into the crevice, making every second a risk. A pulley system was rigged above, ropes secured to hooks drilled into the surrounding rock.
These
It took
niggas were
6
arrested,
men
right?
pulling with
It's gotta be
every
illegal,
ounce of
right?
strength
It's
to
gotta be
lift the
some type of,
slab,
like, this
inch
has to
by
be
inch.
illegal.
Finally, with one last heave, they moved it out of the way. Next, the rescuers began digging. They worked methodically, pulling away dirt and rocks, each motion slow and deliberate to avoid further collapse. Below them, Brandon was silent. Dust had caked his throat, making even a whisper impossible. His mind drifted on the edge of consciousness, wavering between survival and surrender. After grueling hours, the rescuers reached him. To their disbelief, he was still alive. By all logic, he should have been dead. The weight, the lack of air, the injuries, it should have been fatal. But somehow, he was breathing. Barely. The final stage was getting him to the surface. Rescuers carefully secured a harness around his limp body, immobilizing his shattered leg. With extreme caution, they lifted him inch by inch, ensuring no sudden movement worsened his condition. Every pull was deliberate, every breath held in anticipation. After nearly 12 excruciating hours, Brandon emerged from the pit. His leg was unnatural, swollen and twisted. His face, pale and smeared with dirt, was drained of life. His body was ice cold, and his breathing was shallow. Rushed to the hospital, doctors discovered he had suffered kidney failure, a broken leg, and severe hypothermia. His survival was nothing short of a miracle. Gun Barrel Passage Rescue.
Shit,
In
boy.
January 1970,
I
a
was
group
kinda
of
locked in
31
on that one, I ain't gonna hold
adventurers
you.
gathered, bundled up against the bitter winter air. The crunch of snow beneath their boots echoed as they made their way to Knox Cave, which had earned a reputation for one.
That's the noise of snow, by the way, if you didn't know, by the way. Just, you know, little information, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't realize. Yeah, I know a lot about snow and shit, cause you know, I live around snow and shit. Yeah. Yeah, cause yeah.
Particularly notorious feature, the gun barrel. The gun barrel was a narrow, keyhole-shaped tunnel, only 18 inches wide and stretching 60 feet in length. Anyone who dared to
18 inches wide. Ain't that like little as shit? So about the size of a rim? Holy fuck, these niggas are at holy shit.
enter had to squeeze
Fucking
through this tight
dumb
space,
niggas.
a challenging feat that many considered a badge of honor. It was a test of both physical and mental endurance, separating casual explorers from those truly willing to push their limits. Most of the group was determined to pass through the gun
Not
barrel
me.
and reach the untouched sections of the cave that lay beyond. After
Not
hiking
me.
through the snow-covered forest, they arrived at the cave's entrance, an icy, snow-filled sinkhole leading into the dark and cold mouth of the cave. One by one, they descended into the depths, the temperature dropping as they left the world of light behind. The atmosphere inside was
No
scary,
flashlights?
with only the sound of dripping water and the soft shuffle of boots on rock. Among the group, 19 people decided to tackle the gun barrel, including 14-year-old Peter Venn. This was Peter's first caving trip, and he was eager
That's the
to
sound of
prove himself.
water
He
droplets.
watched as the others entered the narrow passage, some moving quickly, confident in their ability.
Look, talk to me. This right here is there for a reason. Something's gonna happen. Someone's leg, hand, gonna get stuck in that motherfucker. Maybe head. Watch. It's there for a reason, I'm telling you.
while others hesitated and moved cautiously. When it was Peter's turn, he took a deep breath and plunged in. The tunnel was even tighter than he had imagined, and his body scraped against the jagged rock walls as he wriggled forward, using his elbows and knees to inch along. The air was thin, and his breathing became shallow. Every few feet, he had to stop and catch his breath, the weight of the rock pressing on him. Just 8 feet from the exit, disaster struck. As Peter pushed forward, his knee slipped into a narrow crevice.
Fucking told you. I'm a fucking genius, nigga. I'm a fucking genius, nigga. Come on, bro. I know ball. I know ball, nigga. I know ball. Don't ever tell me I don't know ball. Because I know ball.
On the
Fuck.
floor. At first, he thought it was a minor inconvenience, but when he tried to pull his knee free, it refused to move. Panic set in. He twisted and pulled, but each attempt only made it worse. His knee was stuck, wedged in the rock. Peter called out, his voice shaking with fear, but the group ahead of him continued moving, unaware of his situation. It wasn't until one by one they realized something was wrong. They turned back to find Peter trapped, blocking the narrow tunnel. No one could move forward or backward. They were stuck. The group tried everything to free Peter, pulling on his leg, twisting his body.
If you're spending $300 for the exclusives, you might drop $6 grand to get a deal. But if that deal is a 15,
Guess
20,
what?
or in our case,
You gonna have to cut
55,
that motherfucker off.
Shifting him, but nothing worked. Each tug caused him to cry out in pain. Eventually, they had to stop, and time began to drag on in the cold, cramped tunnel. The temperature dropped further, and hypothermia became a real threat. The cavers huddled together for warmth, terrified and exhausted. Outside, the rest of the group began to grow anxious, noticing that the others hadn't returned. One person ventured into the cave to
Gonna
check
cut
on
his
them,
motherfucking
and when
leg
he
off.
reached the gun barrel, he was horrified to find Peter trapped, with the group stuck behind him. He rushed back to the surface to raise the alarm. By late afternoon, police officers and firefighters arrived. They quickly realized that this was
The fuck is a police officer gonna do in this situation, nigga? Nigga, can we get some firefighters, some ambulance? Fuck is a police officer gonna do? Tase the rocks or some shit, nigga? Fuck out of here, bro.
no
Waste of
ordinary cave
time.
rescue. The narrowness of the gun barrel made it impossible to simply pull Peter free, and any sudden movements could cause serious injury. Hours passed with no progress. At one point, Peter, delirious with fear and exhaustion, began shouting about a snake biting him, though there was no snake, only his mind playing tricks in the cold, dark cave. As night fell, the situation became more desperate. The temperature inside the cave had dropped to dangerous levels, and if Peter couldn't be freed soon,
Why would a snake be biting you, nigga? It's fucking cold as shit. Why would a snake be biting you? I don't give a fuck that's his mind playing games with him. This nigga's stupid.
cold could claim not just him, but the others trapped behind him. Finally, around 8:30 p.m., after hours of struggle, the rescuers devised a new plan. They handed a thermos of soapy water down to the group, hoping to lubricate Peter's knee and free it from the crevice. They carefully poured
It
the
ain't
soapy
work.
water around his leg, while the firefighters tied a rope around his ankle. With everyone coordinating their efforts, they carefully pulled on Peter's leg, while those inside the cave wriggled beside him, easing the pressure on his knee. Slowly but surely, his knee began to shift. With one final gentle pull, his leg popped free. Relief washed over the group, but the rescue wasn't done yet. They had to make sure Peter didn't slip back into the crevice. Carefully, they guided him the rest of the way through the tight passage until he was finally clear. One by one, the others behind him crawled out to
Watch,
safety.
this dumb nigga got.
Exhausted,
Oh, okay.
but unharmed. Peter had sustained fractures and bruises, and he was treated for hypothermia before being admitted to the hospital for a few days to allow his leg to recover. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for similar ones.
Oh, he probably got like the best out of everybody, bro. Ain't gonna lie. Just a little leg fracture, nigga, some calm shit. You good? Everybody else, dead ass, like was probably closer to dying. Like this nigga for sure. Oh, this nigga fainted though. Nah, but this nigga's breath was short. Kidney failure? Holy fuck. That shit sounds serious. No bully. See what the comments talking about. This is the first happy ending for caver divers I saw. Am I stupid? This is the first happy ending for caver divers I saw. No, I'm fucking Ed. This is the first happy ending for caver divers I saw. Oh, so I'm not stupid. to spell, jackass. Best ending for cave divers, alive. Happy ending for cave divers, dying but survived. Bad ending for cave divers, spoilers below. Dead. Highly unfunny. Like, what the fuck? Nice profile picture. Like, what the fuck wrong with these niggas? Brandon's servant don't have 2 teeth. Lots of teeth. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. That shit was horrible. That shit was not funny. I can't even breathe properly just listening to these cave stories. The thought of being trapped underground like that, pure nightmare fuel. How I honestly feel. Pussy. What the fuck? Pussy. You should do videos that randomly include both rescues and deaths to keep us on our toes. Shut the fuck up. We all need this video with happy endings. How did bro survive this? Why is the world, would anybody think it's a good idea to say for Boy Scouts to go? I would say the same thing, nigga. I would say the same thing, nigga. Rare footage of cave divers actually surviving. The rescue guys are real heroes. I love how the rescuers have absolutely locked in face. I didn't peep. I did not peep. Oh shit. Yeah, that nigga like that. I ain't gonna hold you. Rescue. That's the vid. Like the video, man. And subscribe. I'm about to punch you in your shit. You know, straight to the point. I'm gonna punch you. No. I will punch you in the shit if you don't. I will. I dead ass will. So don't make me have to do that. I hope you enjoyed the video. So whatever. I think that's what they be saying. That's what they be saying, right? I think that's what they be saying. I don't know. Guess I don't know. Damn, I ain't pushed that shit hard enough. Damn, what the f— Yeah.